Yo, 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 what is up? We are back. We got another edition of the Rivalry in the house. Got my co-host Joe Stevens over here giggling at me. Sound
Sunday
like a
fun day.
sound
Sunday
like
fun
a,
day.
sound like a radio jock over here. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was more like a strip joint DJ. All right, guys. How
Yeah.
about you come on down? We got Stacy on the main stage.
Yeah. Yep. How's it going? How's your Sunday?
Man, good. Just got some family things coming up here soon, so I got about a week, 2 weeks until that all goes down.
Mhm.
I'm excited.
The weather could not get any better today.
Holy moly. That was the last, oh gosh. So for me, I don't know how it's been in your neck of the woods, but for the last 2 weeks, it has just been hot. It's been hot, not necessarily hot, but hotter than what it has been regularly at this rate.
Mhm.
And then on the weekends, it just rains and it's cold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. Like, let me sweat my ass off all day at work. And then, on the weekend, I could freeze my ass off because, I was expecting all the sun, right? And all the heat. So I bought me one of them little, not an air conditioner thing, but the little 2-fan setup you can jam in your window. it just vents out air, just kicks it all out, keeps the house cool and my room. And so I bought that because it was getting hot. And the moment I bought that, it was shit weather up until, like, I guess now, last 2 weeks.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thursday. Yeah, I can't complain about today.
Yeah, no, I can't. Anything you got going on?
Not much. Not much. Just doing this show today.
I heard you got that side work done, or
Yeah.
hell
Got a
yeah,
side
extra
job.
money.
Got a side job done. So.
Saturday money's good money.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So, did you want to go with minicamp first, or?
Yeah, we could. So,
Well, I mean, we obviously are. You know what I mean?
oh,
I was
actually,
wondering if you wanted to lead off with your minicamp news.
actually, no. You know what? You start off with yours.
Okay. So, we've got a couple of guys that keep getting talked about who we drafted high in the draft this year, who consistently sound like they're doing good stuff in camp, and that's Renardo Green and Ricky Pearsall. Real quick, Ricky Pearsall, he's the first rounder. We got him at pick 31. He's wearing the no contact injury because of something that happened a couple weeks ago, and he's still sore, so they're keeping his reps up. To keep his reps up, they're keeping the no contact. I'm guessing he got contacted in the ribs or something like that, maybe, or maybe it's like an arm or something like that. But his big knock was that he wasn't tough enough. And we're talking about mini camp. You got the blue thing on, but everybody else says he's really good, especially in the slot. He's like, if you got to worry about 2 other receivers before him, he's going to be an issue for most every single team. Now, not every team, but most. You know what I mean? Some people got you got a deep team for in secondary. So, you know what I mean? Leonard Floyd is looking great. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's learning how to get his hand in the dirt again. But I've also seen them doing reps standing up. So I wonder if we're going to be giving people that 3-4 look at times with Floyd standing up. It makes perfect sense with bringing him to this team. Hufunga's looking at a week 1 comeback. We'll see if that's happened. Demo, it looks like he's had some tightness. So he wasn't really kind of showing up to camp, but it's kind of good. All the rookies, we get it, like Renardo Green, which is another guy I meant to mention up in the beginning. He's doing great. He's working cornerback and nickel. Nickel's not something he played in college. Not to say that he can't. It's just he's learning our system of both outside and nickel. So, but nickel's kind of more of a learning curve, and he is sticky. He is real sticky, and he's shitting on everybody's day. Like the big accomplishment at camp is if you can get a completion with Renardo Green coverage on, so that's something to look forward to. But just to let you know, he might not even be starting this year because we've got, what's his name? It was the guy Levi's not high on. Gosh. It's not Gross Matos. It's it starts with a Y, right? It's not Yeter Gross Matus. It's anyway, I'll come back to it if I remember. But oh wait, here I know where he is. I got him written down here. Let's see. Isaac Yadam. Isaac Yadam's looking like he might be taking over the outside spot and moving Demo inside. And I'm thinking Renardo Green will be the next guy up in any one of those positions for the most part. Just because I think they kind of want to see, no matter where somebody goes down, I think they want to see what he's got.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Let's see. What else? I got anything else before I pass it over to you? Purdy and Pearsall are making good connections so far. They look like they've kind of played together before, which is scary. But I think that has to do with how good Ricky Pearsall runs the routes. Because if you can run the routes well, then anybody could do well with Purdy because Purdy can put the ball in the same spot essentially over and over again. He's not the most accurate quarterback, but he's consistently accurate. You know what I mean? And when he's off, sometimes it's dangerous, but the window he's being asked to be thrown into is tight. So like any off is dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they might be cutting back CMC's reps in the games because how much he was used. They looked at the numbers at the end of the season. It looks like they're looking at, hey, he gets a lot of checkdowns because everybody else is kind of covered, or when everybody else is covered, he's a great outlet. So I think what they're going to try and do is cut down the actual touches he gets in the run game by letting other running backs get the ball and keep him as that outlet in the passing game. So that's good to hear because we've got a lot of talented backs on this team. And I don't necessarily want Christian McCaffrey taking every rep if he doesn't have to. Let's spread the ball around. Some of these guys might be able to go on and get a good contract on another team here pretty soon. Let's let that happen if you're not going to freaking pay them. Let's not waste these guys' talent while they're young. Let's use some of these guys. A fresh back every couple of weeks is nasty if you think about it. If you can have a fresh pair of legs that essentially after Christian McCaffrey, if everybody's kind of the same talent, that's nasty because you can talk about work somebody for 2 weeks, give them 2 weeks off, or 4 weeks off because you got 4 running backs all together.
Or just rotate them.
That's what I'm saying. As far as, give them, I kind of like let them get in the game plan for like 2 weeks solid. You know what I mean? At least, you know what I mean? So they kind of get used to things and they're part of the main focus. And then, hey, go take a break, keep checking in on the game plan, but, don't worry about things. If somebody goes down, we'll call you, but, hey, you know what I mean? That's my thoughts. Like, why not just start hitting people with fresh legs? I wonder if that could do something.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. These are dissolving quick. Shout out for everybody who's listening. I got me a truly unruly strawberry, my 49ers cup. And I got some red vines as a straw, but it's not working so well.
So are you ready to get into the Seahawks OTA news?
Yeah, What you guys got?
Okay, so mine isn't as much as yours when it comes to certain players. Obviously, Byron Murphy is out there and he's looking awesome, but it's not full contact, obviously. Mainly what they're worried about over here is getting the installation of the offense and defense. So what I've heard is the offense is about 50% installed, just their basic playbook, and then the defense is about 25% installed. And it's on pace. That Mike McDonald said it's just on pace for where they want to. Something interesting the other day too happened, which was actually pretty cool. So as we were talking about, it was shitty here for a couple weeks, and it was pissing rain, and one of the guys at the radio station said, "Oh, you're having an inside practice today?" He goes, "No, we're outside."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, he'll change." They go, "Oh, he'll change his mind. It'll be an indoor practice." And sure enough, they were practicing outside in the pissing down rain because
smart man.
Yep, that's what you got to do. Be prepared.
We didn't have inside facilities in high school.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of our coaches would have utilized that if they could have, because that's not where we play the games.
Yeah, and it's just another thing is there's 3 fields in our outdoor facility, and there's only 1 inside. When there's 99, 100 guys right now, it's a lot different when it's just 53. So
indoor facility is nice is when it's really hot. And if it's extremely cold and there's no reason to have to be, so if you're, I don't know, if you're doing some sort of training and it's extremely cold and it's not in season, I don't think that necessarily matters. I don't want people getting tight from it being so cold. Rain isn't like that. When we know it is up here. Once you start moving around, I used to be a beer man. I used to get rained on, and I could work my clothes dry by going in a cooler, because the cooler is naturally going to pull the moisture out of your clothes. But when you're also cranking a lot of beer, it's warming up that air and making it leave your clothes quicker. So it's once you get that layer of water around you warmed up to your body temp, you're okay, as long as the wind isn't coming through and just taking everything, which it can't.
Yeah, and this might get more towards the scheme thing, which obviously we're going to save for later. But one thing I'm excited for this offense compared to the Pete Carroll offensive coordinators, is Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator at Washington last year. Yeah, they passed the ball a shitload, but that's because that's where their strength was. Their strength was passing the ball. But games where they were playing a weak opponent, such as USC, they ran for 250 yards against USC, right? This staff wants to take advantage of matchups and be physical, and that's what I'm a fan of. You're probably going to see a lot of Kenneth Walker this year. You're probably going to see a lot of Zach Charbonnet this year, and you're probably going to see DK used more get DK the ball, right? Just get DK the ball in space, end around, stuff like that. I'm really excited for that.
I don't understand why DK isn't put in the slot for a slant all the fucking time.
He probably will be. No,
he should be.
This is this whole different staff, so
that's a free 7 yards.
Yeah.
Even if he gets tackled at the point of contact or reception, that's a free 7 yards. You know what I mean? Yeah. You do that twice in a row, that's a first down, baby.
Well, till the corner jumps it. But I mean, even an end around, let's not kid ourselves. He's one of the best athletes in the NFL. Get him the ball.
So this is the thing, though, is once you plan this is how you're going to kill them, then you know exactly what they're going to do. And what do they are? They're going to try and jump it. So what do? You go upfield.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then when
not even with DK, or you can do like they do with Debo all the time, fakes to Debo around, right? And that's one thing that this offense is going to do a lot better job of is it won't be quite like it was last year at UW because it's a different game, it's a different league. But you're going to see a lot of pre-snap movement compared to what you're used to with the Seahawks. You're going to see a lot of trying to fool the defense, kind of like the 49ers do, kind of like the Rams do, kind of like the Dolphins do.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of that. So just hope it works out. I'm really – I don't know. I probably told you this last time we were on. I don't care as much about wins and losses this year as I care about seeing improvement in all aspects of the game, because this is a young team. I mean, other than DK and Tyler Lockett, this is a young team. So,
real quick, I forgot to speak on this, so I'll ask you if you've heard anything on this, and then I'll say what I got. Kickoffs. What have you heard coming from your camp about how they're going to approach the kickoff?
Not a lot. Jay Harbaugh talked about it a little bit. I kind of just skimmed through the press conference. If I'm being honest, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just wanted to set. The only reason I clicked on his press conference wasn't as much as I wanted information about the kickoff return, as much as I just wanted to hear if Jay Harbaugh talked exactly like his dad, which he doesn't. Mike McDonald, actually, you'll see. The more you get to know this guy, the more you're probably going to hate him, because I think he's going to be a really good coach as far as Mike McDonald goes. And you're going to hate him as the Seahawks fans hated Jim Harbaugh, because the Seahawks did in hiring Mike McDonald was hiring the closest thing they could to hiring Jim Harbaugh without pissing everybody off and hiring Jim Harbaugh. So, but yeah, no, I haven't heard a lot about the kickoffs. One thing I was watching nationally wise, I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and kind of they were talking about it and going, oh yeah, we're going to see so many, kick returns for touchdowns. And here's what I thought in my head, and they brought it up at the end of the show, was how long until, how many returns, say your team sucks at kickoff coverage, right? Say your team is just dog shit, and they're giving up one touchdown a game on kickoff returns. Just boot it out of the back of the end zone, take it at the 30-yard line. If there's too much scoring, I would not be surprised to see teams do that.
Well, yeah. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of scoring now that I'm listening to their approach.
Mm-hmm.
So once the ball hits the ground, that's when the teams can start moving.
Or the ball touches a player.
Right. But we're just going with touching the ground. So therefore, and obviously the returners can move before then because they need to get in position, right? So it seems like the 49ers approach is they're going to like line drive, skip it so that it hits the ground early, so the guys can start running, and now the returner is going to have to catch it with everybody coming down on him closer than they would have been before.
But it is. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
But the target zone is a thing too. So you have to kick it between. Sorry, it's weird. So
the 25 in the end zone, right?
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it has to land. So
the 20 in the end zone.
The 20. This is the 49ers approach. This Jake Moody seems like he's got the talent to be able to accomplish this. So this is the 49ers approach. And if other teams do the same, I see it being less high scoring than what I initially thought. Unless you get some offensive linemen out there who can actually move, and you get a fast guy who's kind of got some weight to him and can
knows how to
power through.
Yeah.
Well, and can power through arm tackles with the high speed. You know what I mean? That's the only way I think you're really going to be able to get good returns off this is having some big guys who can move up front. Because I think once you get past the two lines, it's like what do you call it? Cover zero. It's like cover zero. The only person you're gonna have in the back is the kicker.
So cover
Playing
one.
safety.
Cover one.
Cover one, but cover 0.5. Cover 0.5.
Yeah.
Let's just call it how it is. Not every kicker's made the same, but like my punter, I put money on my punter being able to level somebody open field one-on-one. I'd put money down on that.
Another thing they were talking about on that national show
Great fucking level
was I guess the Chiefs are probably going to use Eric Reed, their backup kicker and safety. Not Eric Reed, Justin Reed. Sorry. Because they want a guy back there, that's not, you've seen some of these kickers. Some of them are 5'9", 160 pounds, they're not really made for that. They're made to just kind of get in the way. Right. So, I could see a lot more punters. Punters seem like they're much bigger of a build for one, doing kickoffs. And I could see if they can find a safety somewhere that say, hey, guess what? All you're going to work on this week is kicking it between the 20 and the goal line. The 20 and the goal line. If you have a good leg, say it's a backup safety, he's kicking the ball off, and then all of a sudden that's a huge advantage compared to having a place kicker out there, kicking off in a cover one situation.
Yeah. Want to give a shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. We got 9 of you. Appreciate all that. If you want to hit the chat up and say what's up, we'll give you your shout outs. Give you applause right now. Appreciate you. Real quick, Joe.
Yeah.
There was something that happened over Memorial Weekend. Mm-hmm. Wanted to spotlight this.
Dude, our guys look fucking sick.
Dude, now, even though for everybody who knows, I just kind of came up with this graphic idea this last week, and Joe was like, hey, really love everything, but just some constructive criticism. Can we get some ones that talk shit about the 49ers and not just talking shit about the Seahawks? And I was like, yeah, that's going to be your job. I just didn't get things straight. So these are kind of more leaning towards my side. So if anybody wonders why, it's my fault, not Joe's. He kind of didn't have an idea. But saw this post. Joe posted this or sent this to me, not this specific one, but a post talking about the guys Memorial Weekend, which is also my base. Oh, go ahead. It's also my birthday weekend.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, we're good. And yeah, go ahead. Tell them about the base.
Yeah, they went to a joint base, Lewis McCord. As you would know, it's kind of near Tacoma, just a little south of Tacoma. Maybe it's officially in Tacoma. I don't know.
I used to go to picnics there. My dad actually was in the Air Force. So like I used to go to his company picnics all the time. Well, not all the time, once a year. That's where I learned you could pee on trees. I didn't know that you could pee in public out on a tree. I had no idea. And then we were out there at one of them family get-togethers for the thing, and they were like, my dad's like, oh, the bathrooms, just go on the tree. And I was like, what? So for like, I don't know how long after that, I was trying to go on a tree every chance I could because I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
That's funny. But yeah, they went to JBLM, and just this is the main photo that got everybody's attention. But they talked to the troops and kind of hung out with all the troops. Took photos, and which as much as like you said, they're making fun of everybody in this photo. That photo goes hard as fuck with Gino there. But not only that, I think this is a good thing that the Seahawks are doing, especially with a lot of new faces, a lot of young faces.
Right.
Not only going to visit the troops, that's awesome, but bonding outside of just football, right? That's kind of one thing that I look at a positive with all this is, obviously they're not going there talking X's and O's. they can get time on the bus together or whatnot. So I like it.
I thought the caption was funny. It says, this why Earl Thomas, Brandon Browner, and so many others happen, bro.
Yeah.
But then here's a little one.
Not even with guns, they scary.
Are they scary? You know what I mean? I thought, yeah, a little bit of ribbon.
Yeah, just a little bit. But imagine if that guy was actually there.
Oh yeah,
he'd be like, "Holy fuck!"
Well, not just that, but everybody who handed them those guns. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Who handed them the guns? Those are the guys who know how to use them and got more.
Not only that, like with Twitter, like I talk shit on Twitter a little bit, and it's mainly about like referees. I don't know, and all those of you that follow me on Twitter realize I don't really bitch about much other than officials. I don't often tweet something where I wouldn't say it to the person in the photo. There is no fucking chance at JPD 2018 is going up to those guys and being like, yeah, I ain't scared at all. I ain't fucking scared at all of you guys. Maybe. Doubt it.
Also, they're trained athletes, so no matter if they're trained in a certain art, martial art, or anything like that, they're still going to have more endurance than you. You know what I mean? They're going to be able to get out of the way long enough for you to get fucking tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I feel like an NFL athlete, honest to God, could beat the shit out of you without really beating the shit out of you, right? Because you're right, they are trained so much endurance, just not even hit you. I feel like they could take one of us, no problem, just kind of standing there, kind of walking back. Anyways, next topic.
Hold on, give me a second. I got this. There was a quote. What was it? There was one quote about football and rugby. Pretty much it was like a game of barbarians played by gentlemen. And then it was football was a game of like a game of like I can't even find the words right now, but a game of destruction played by like top end thoroughbreds. You know what I mean? Like they're like putting the two together. It's just
my thoughts on rugby. Let's go next.
I like rugby.
We don't need to get into this.
Let's get into the QB news.
Yeah, sad. A little bit to report here. Not much. We'll start with I was trying to find the quote. I saw it, I think, on 710 Sports last week that Sam Howell is competing his ass off, but he is nowhere near the level of Geno Smith ready to take the reins and won't be. Geno Smith will pretty much have to shit his fucking pants multiple times in the preseason / training camp to be able to lose his job. With that being said, we signed a 49er killer, PJ Walker, beat you guys 19-17 last year. He threw 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, but he still beat you guys, so that's tight.
Gonna need a lot more than that.
Well, he didn't. He didn't at all. He beat you guys throwing 2 picks, no touchdown.
I couldn't believe that shit. I couldn't believe that shit last year either. I was like, what the hell? That we lost that game for our damn selves. So
you brought that up to me before the show, and I made sure to write that down before I forgot about it, because you're like, oh yeah, you guys signed PJ Walker. I was like, oh yeah, and I literally typed in PJ Walker Browns beat 49ers on my notepad here. So I want to make sure to bring that up.
Note to self: surprise him with the fucking graphics.
Yeah. So randomly signed the XFL GOAT. He was a beast in the XFL.
That's why I didn't think this one was talking shit. I thought this one was on the money. You know what I'm saying? This one's on the money.
Well, no, not only that, like, props to PJ Walker for, a lot of guys fucking don't make it after playing in those spring leagues. And, he's one of them that started a couple games last year. So props to him.
I think he's your version of our Joshua Dobbs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I forgot that the Pastronaut was on your guys' team.
Yeah. I'm happy with it. I was like, fuck, the best with how this league goes, the moment your quarterback goes down, you're pretty much screwed. Like we were lucky to be able to have a Brock Purdy that year when Jimmy went down after Trey Lance went down.
I want to bring that up to you because that's the 49ers are such a fucking outlier. Fucking up on first round picks, top 5 first round picks, right? How many? And okay, 49ers fucked up Trey Lance. They fucked up Solomon Thomas. And it's like most GMs would be fired after that, but they just fucking thrived. How lucky they got fucking finding. I think it's a scheme with Brock Purdy, which is not a knock on him at all. I think it's a quarterback friendly scheme, and I think he thrives in it.
It's not a quarterback friendly scheme. The reason being is you have to throw in such the bread and butter is such a tight window that if you're not accurate. So I was at work the other day and I was talking about the ULA launch, Boeing Starliner. They got their Starliner off and all that. And he's asking me, he's like, oh, is it a good rocket? And I had to explain to him, when it comes to space, there's no good or bad. There's death and there's pass. you don't have, and with what is asked of the 49ers quarterbacks at the most crucial times, not all the time, but the most crucial times, which what makes everything go, is one of the toughest passes a quarterback can make accurately. So yeah, it's one of the toughest ones. It's not one of the toughest ones. It's the most dangerous one is when you're talking about throwing into coverage. It's the most dangerous one, hands down. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying not every quarterback can do it. We've seen other quarterbacks attempt this shit.
No, you're right. I'm just, I don't know. No knock on Purdy, but I mean that he's got some pretty good coaching. I don't know if he'd thrive in a different situation. Maybe he would, but I don't know if he'd even have an opportunity at another situation. You know what I mean?
Don't think so either. His measurables aren't measurable enough for most people to look at, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah. Real quick, can I give a shout out to Megan, the Aussie 12? Go
Aussie. Oi.
Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop talking shit about rugby right about now because
now they got the AFL, and that's different than rugby. You're probably no, you don't like the AFL.
I don't like either. We're not talking. This is a football show, as Corey Davis would say.
Oh shit!
Hey, this is a football show. All right.
Real quick.
Hello, it is time to start the show, and I'm going to get started right after this.
Miss
Corey.
But yeah. Anyways, I just think the 49ers got so fucking lucky finding a guy after, fucking up the Solomon Thomas pick was one thing, but that Trey Lance trade, I mean, you guys should be in hell right now as fans. I mean, look at some other teams that fucked up with quarterbacks.
The Browns?
Yeah.
Like Browns. Every single one?
Don't even get me started. The Browns GM just got an extension.
He sunk that team on the Deshaun Watson trade.
I mean, they made the playoffs last year. They made the playoffs last year without Deshaun Watson.
Yes, because the whole team is stacked other than the quarterback.
Anyways, let's get to your quarterback little screen time deal here.
Something I was scrolling through. And Coach Yak, if you don't follow Coach Yak, you should. Also on YouTube, he has a channel, and he also does shows with Grant and everybody else and the whole 49ers YouTube circle. But yeah, he put this out. He said quarterback passes the last 5 seasons as a team. 2019, 28 passes. 2020, 34. We had a lot of injuries that year. 2021, 26. 2022, 37. We also had 3 different quarterbacks that year. 2023, 9 drops. And he says the 49ers also had the fewest drop passes in the league last season. Brock Purdy sure does throw a catchable ball. Now, I don't know if the balls necessarily he throws are more catchable than anybody else. I think it's the placement.
Well, yeah, that too. And I think, no knock on Brock Purdy. I mean, we talked about this before. You know, he doesn't have the velocity that other guys have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what he makes up for in the fact that he doesn't have that, you know, that Josh Allen arm that could just, you know, throw through bulletproof glass. But what he does have is accuracy, what we were just talking about.
And he's good at throwing with anticipation, which makes up for the arm strength.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, where he doesn't, that's another thing. If it's not coming at you, you know, 200 miles per hour, it is easy to catch. And if it's placed in the right spot, it's a lot easier to catch. And also, I think it says a lot about your guys' wide receivers as well. But yeah,
I think they've matured and gotten better also.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not here to just ride the 49ers dick. I swear to God, I'm not, guys. If whoever's watching this right now,
hey,
trust me.
Joe, I just want to speak for all the faithful and say, if anybody's going to be riding our dick, it's not going to be somebody wearing that jersey.
I didn't get that, but all right.
You're wearing a Seahawks jersey.
Oh, dick riding. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're not gonna pay that no mind.
Anyways, yeah. So, Christian McCaffrey and Juwan Jennings both got new, very lucrative contracts.
Yes, they did.
So tell me about it.
Let me see. Do I have? All right, we got Juwan Jennings stats up here. Oh, good. I got that in the way. Let me take that away. Boom. Let me switch this background. Bang. Hey, there we go. Yeah, Juwan Jennings, you can see by his number, he doesn't do a lot as far as yardage and whatnot at the team. As far as when you look on paper, doesn't seem like much. But most of all those receptions are third down balls that completed a first down. His nickname is Third and Juwan. He got himself a 2-year, $15 million contract, which is an average of 7.7 a year. He had 8.4 due at signing, which I'm sure he fucking was ecstatic about. This was, hey, I love you guys. I deserve more. Before anything happens, let's just run this back again. How about you give me some get right? And I'll just continue to block my ass off and not complain about shit. Which, to me, he's worth every penny. Not every scheme would he be as important or worth every penny that the 49ers are paying him. But in our scheme, I think he's worth every single fucking penny, if not more. He's very selfless in the run game, and when it comes down to third down when you need it the most, it's like no moment's too big for him. When he's behind the line on third down, it almost seems like he just wants to put the football in his back pocket and pull out a knife and stab people until he can get across the first down. And I know that's a little, but he doesn't take no for a fucking answer on the football field. And I appreciate the shit out of that. What's your thoughts on Juwan Jennings? If you could put your mind into a 49ers fan's mind, would this be something you would spend money on?
Not as much as they did. I mean, to be fair, do you think he's getting that anywhere else?
No.
Yeah. See, I think that's part of the game.
Not with those numbers. Not with those numbers.
I mean, he had a hell of a performance in the Super Bowl, too, that I think because you guys lost, I mean, a lot of people forget about that. But he had a good chance of being Super Bowl MVP if you guys won that game.
He's the 5th target on the team, and he's one of the most crucial people to win us games. The toughest games, because his third down catches are so important. But I understand what you're saying. Look, I get it. I'm glad. Thank you for being honest, because you know what I mean? It wasn't hater. You were just being honest. I appreciate that.
What were his stats on the Super Bowl? It was.
So if you look right here,
stats,
his offseason, his numbers are nothing except for receiving touchdowns, which he's tied for second, which means that pretty much nobody caught more than one touchdown in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
With one person did.
No, he's not tied with one person. He's tied with multiple people.
No, I meant the person that's tied for first.
Oh, yeah.
The person that's first. I don't know why. He only had 42 yards in the Super Bowl with 4 catches, but just thinking back, if you were to ask me, like, who was the key player of that game for the 49ers, I would have told you Juwan Jennings, honestly, without looking at the stat sheet.
Him and Brandon Ayuk were probably the most important receivers on the team during that game. Debo was non-existent. Well, I wouldn't say non-existent. He just wasn't effective enough to move the needle. So not non-existent, but not doing anything to really progress us, get us forward. And people made mistakes, bro. People made mistakes all through that game. Also, like, Patrick Mahomes did not want to step a fucking yard across, or a foot, an inch across the line of scrimmage when Dre Greenlaw was in the game. But the moment Dre Greenlaw went out, all of a sudden, what? Oh, Dick got hard. Oh, he got.
I fucking hate Dre Greenlaw, dude. For one, stop 1 second.
Why do you hate Dre? Why do you hate Dre? You know damn well he plays a fucking great game, and you know if he was on your team, you would really appreciate him.
1 sec. I'll give a shout out to Swole Cole here.
I like that name and that image, bro. Yeah. Bro, Hall of Fame, fucking.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is. I was a little nervous because the picture was so small. I was like, oh shit, his name's Swole Cole. I don't fucking know if I want to bring this up, but he said Hawks gonna surprise the world with these new schemes, and yeah, that's actually one of our topics today. So if you stick around through another, I think 2 or 3 topics, we will be talking about specifically the Seahawks new schemes on offense and defense. So
and Swole Cole, please, for me, will you hit the subscribe button for my buddy Joe Stevens? I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to do something for a 49ers fan, but it's helping a Seahawks fan out. And yeah, I just appreciate it. Hook the homie up.
Swole Cole is the shit, and he's probably already subscribed.
Oh, anyways, you already know Swole Cole. Okay.
No,
that name.
I fucking never met Swole Cole.
Oh, okay.
Time. Anyways, let's go to Christian McCaffrey.
Bang. Christian McCaffrey.
That's this is the more sexy, thing that everybody's talking about. So
yeah. Jesus, I didn't put his contract info on here. Good thing I got it written down. He got a 2-year, $38 million, 24 guaranteed at signing with 2 void years. So that's the 49ers thinking ahead, and that's how we play the game, is through the void years. I think they're shuffling off a couple $1 each year on those void years. But I think what this was is hey, you're getting married. Here's your
Prenup.
guap. Yeah, here's your
He signed a
here's
prenup, dude.
oh, they both got money. I'm sure he protected himself. I'm sure she, yeah. Who knows? There might be a certain amount. I'm not going to speculate. We're talking about football.
Yeah.
Look at the stats on the regular season. Carries tied for second. Wow. Who got more carries? That's crazy.
One person.
Yeah. Well, and who else?
Sorry.
Who tied him? Holy shit. Who tied him?
I guarantee it's probably Derrick Henry, number one. They fed that
He didn't get no
motherfucker.
1,400 yards or 1,500 yards.
Let me look really quick.
The second. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Keep going.
But yeah. So he just continually amazes. He's so talented in the running game and in the passing game. If you can't tell by the stats here, I have another. Hold on. Let me see. I had another graphic that I liked, but fuck them. Don't worry about them right now. Made a shit ton of graphics for the show.
Derrick Henry had 280 carries.
8 more carries. Who was tied for second with him?
Actually, Rachaad White, the Tampa Bay's running back.
Wow.
Do you have yards per carry on there? Yeah, 5.4.
Yeah.
So he was second.
Dude, his yards per carry are just amazing, except for when he got into the Super Bowl. If you look down here, where is it? Oh, I don't have it here. Oh, postseason stats, yards per carry. He went down to 4.5. That's because of the Super Bowl. He was at like 3.7 or something like that. It was bad.
And number one in yards per carry, by the way, was Lamar Jackson. That's not even. I mean, he's number one in running backs yards per carry in the NFL.
Yeah, because everybody is out there covering and nobody is really assigned to him. It's, you know what I mean? Like, and it's also after the snap, so everybody's dispersed.
Yeah, Lamar's a little different. Most teams account for him running the football, but yeah.
Yes and no. Yes.
It's hard to do as a running back.
Sometimes they do it with a front. Instead of a certain person, they do it with 5 people and they all keep good contained. That's what I mean. Or 4 people and they keep good contained, but it's probably not 4 people. It's usually 5.
How about this really quick?
Yeah.
I apologize. Not off topic. This is about Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So Christian McCaffrey rushed for 83 first downs this season. The closest to him was Jalen Hurts with the fucking tush push or rushing was 68.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that's insane.
It makes a lot of sense because there's so many times that he would get the ball and he'd go for like 7 yards and then they'd get under center again and go for another 7 yards. That's why his average 5.3. I mean, the guy behind this scheme can do great things unless we get to the Super Bowl and get pushed around, which we'll talk about later. But I think Christian McCaffrey did a great thing here, pushing for more money. And I'm not saying that as a 49ers fan. I'm saying that as a fan of football, because I believe that he's doing essentially the Lord's work, trying to make sure that there is a spot for running backs to get paid also, so that kids, as they grow up from this point on, don't stop becoming a running back and go to other positions so they can make more money and they could just play the position that they are good at, appreciate, like all that good stuff. So I really like it. Christian McCaffrey is a guy you can spend money on. It's worth it.
No, that's my thing too. He's a game changer.
Oh, whoops.
It's fine. He's a game changer, and that's a really big fucking thing,
Yeah.
So
he can be. Oh shit.
Where are we going now? We're going there.
We're going there. We're doing a great job around here, guys.
Yeah, we're the shit.
The shit.
Did we get to this? No. Go ahead.
Oh, we got some comments real quick.
Oh, okay.
Before we get into the Justin Jefferson and Ayuk, we got any more people? Oh, we got all around sports in the house. What up, all around sports? We're doing great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Let me know. Hit me up all around sports if you need any graphics done, bro.
Hit me up all around sports if you ever want to do a show together.
Yeah.
He's social media less, I think, is the problem. I gotta like go in the comments on his YouTube channel to have a conversation with him. We have Jess from the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. How are you doing, Jess?
What up, Jess? Shout out to Jess. She got a great show over there. Make sure to go subscribe to her if you want some good 49ers content. She has been having some great guests on her show. She does a show usually
Jeff
every
Garcia.
Wednesday. Yeah. And there was, I can't remember the other players that she had before that, or the other important person. I can't remember if it was a player or something, but she's been rocking the world, and not just her, but she's got a great crew over there. So make sure to go check them out.
Oh shit. Sorry. Same time.
I love that Swole Cole. Bro, Swole Cole, you're the shit. I love that
fucking name. And some hard-hitting comments here.
Dude, that graphic shit.
Is the GOAT of white running backs. Not a 49ers fan, but he deserves a ring. I don't think he deserves a ring because he's a 49er, but I think that
he's not saying he deserves a ring because he's a 49er. He's saying he deserves a ring because he fucking works his ass off and goes hard every play.
Actually, I think he just got married, so he got his one ring this year, and then I don't think he'll get another one.
That's a ring he's looking for, but that's not the ring. The ring.
Anyways, he's probably, honest to God, the best white running back since John Riggins.
I think he's the best running back ever at this point. So
that's far-fetched. Ever? The best running back ever?
Yeah.
Running back.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry, I think
who else can put up the rush yards and the pass yards that he can?
Am I in their prime?
Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't say running back. Maybe I should say halfback.
In their prime?
It's a better term because
Swole Cole's got Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders could.
Look, Barry Sanders is a running back. Let's classify
he's a halfback.
As a halfback, yes. And I think he's the best halfback.
Barry's a halfback.
Barry's not a halfback. Barry's a running back.
He wasn't a fullback.
There's running back, there's halfback, and there's fullbacks. A halfback is somebody who's half passing, half run. That's what a halfback is.
It's always been fullback. Anyways, we're never going to fucking agree with this. So before we
look it up. Halfback is half rushing, half receiving.
Yeah,
that's what a halfback is.
But Barry was a halfback.
Barry's a running back.
We're never going to fucking agree with this. The 49ers Super Bowl window is closing slowly. There are many teams rising in the NFC, including the Seahawks, Packers, Lions, Eagles, Bears, and others. I'd exclude the Eagles from that list all around sports.
I'd also exclude the Seahawks just for now. Because I think they're trying to figure stuff out right now. I think next year they could, depending on how this year's go, I would definitely put them in the pack. You know what I mean?
The Niners have to win the Super Bowl this year or Kyle is gone. I doubt that Kyle's gone, but I do believe they need to win a Super Bowl win before Purdy gets paid.
Kyle and John whiffed on the Trey Lance debacle. I'm not saying that Trey Lance is a bust. What I'm saying is how they handled that whole situation was a total whiff. You know what I mean? Like
most GMs would have been fired after that fucking pick. Most GMs coaches,
that deal with the pick, right?
Yeah, it wasn't only the pick. I forgot. They traded a shitload.
Yeah.
Imagine how scary. Like I said, I'm not riding the fucking 49ers dicks. I hate the 49ers. But imagine that team if they wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance and just would have had Purdy and then Garoppolo got hurt and Purdy came in. And then instead of Lance, they kept those first round picks and used them. I think we'd be looking at not just a Super Bowl winner from the last 2 years. I think we'd be talking about a potential dynasty with.
Look, I'm going to understand. I'm going to push back on that. I don't think with this regime and their picks in the first round, that is not true. We might have gotten one guy out of those 3 picks.
I'm just gonna go through. Sorry, I'm having fun. I know. Sorry, guys. This show is running way longer than we planned. Sorry to run too.
It's Sunday. We can do whatever.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh fuck it. Okay, was that the 2020 draft or 2021? 2021, right?
Trey Lance, wasn't that COVID?
I think it was the year after. Let me see.
It could have been 20.
Yeah, so 3rd overall, Trey Lance. Okay, so where were they originally picking? They were originally
12 or somewhere around there, mid of the pack, a little higher than mid.
Yeah, it was. So Micah Parsons got picked with the 12th overall pick. Could you imagine fucking Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa lined up across from each other?
This is the thing too, because Micah Parsons might have been the pick. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan. Somebody came out. One of his childhood friends came out and said that when they played Madden all the time and they draft teams, Kyle Shanahan's first pick off the board was a edge rusher, and you can see that with Nick Bosa. You can see that with Drake. Shit, how am I forgetting his fucking name?
Drake Jackson.
Drake Jackson. Yes. Yeah. So Drake Jackson, that was like the first pick of that draft because they had used so many picks. He had fallen, and they still let's just get this edge guy. You know what I mean? So like, that's one of the things I could totally see that pick happening. Who knows? I could see the pick happening because of his position, maybe because of his talent. But there's other things that go into how the 49ers draft people that could have weeded him out. I don't know what it could be. I'm not saying that it would have been. I'm just saying I don't know.
Well, the pick right after was Pro Bowl tackle Rashawn Slater, and you guys could use this. I get you have
we don't do that.
Trent Williams. I get you have Trent Williams, but imagine.
We'll talk about O-line later. I kind of figured out how we do things.
Let's get to Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, all right.
And Justin Jefferson.
Let's go. Which one is it? It's this one. Bang. Okay, we go from CMC. So what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to talk about Brandon Ayuk's contract while talking about other contracts of other receivers that are kind of hitting paydays at the same time. So we got Amon St. Brown. He got his 4 years, 120, 30 mil a year. Signing bonus was 16 mil guaranteed at signing was 34.6. Total guaranteed is 77. Hold on. If you look at this deal real quick, look at this deal. And then I want you to look at this quote. Sorry, I need to put this away. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? There we go. I need to get rid of us there. We need to figure out how to make that go back to that. Right here. Whoops.
My bad.
If the 49ers want to sign BA, give him the Amon-Ra deal. I guaranteed he'd be in there tomorrow. They don't want to do that. If they offered him Amon-Ra's deal, he would be in camp. BA's wide receiver coach, T.A. Hushmanzada.
His wide receivers coach is T.J. Dushmanzada.
Hold on. But look, he's talking. He's talking. Look, he just wanted a fair deal. And they were trying to nickel and dime him.
Yeah.
So what did he do?
It'll probably cost him in the long run.
And it'll cost him in the fucking long run, right? So if you look at the deal, he's got there. Look, the guaranteed money ain't big. It ain't too big. You know what I mean? Considering the deal. Look at its signing. At signing, you're only paying half the guaranteed money. That's good. That's good shit. What have you got from him before? That's good stuff. Now, let's move on to the next one. If everybody's checked out the scores, I don't really need to talk about everything else. If everybody's been processing the screen while I've been talking. Justin Jefferson, what'd he get? He got 4 years, 140 mil. That's 35 a year. Okay. Look, we all know he's the best. We all know he's the best.
I was going to say, you can't fuck it. So I thought you were going to argue that.
No, look, his only knock is out of all the receivers that I'm talking about here today, he is shit in the run game, but it doesn't fucking matter. He's a wide receiver, right? Like every other wide receiver, I've got their rushing stats in here because they're actually, I think Justin Jefferson's average rush yards is like 2.2 yards. It's bleak. But who gives a shit? You get another player to fucking run the ball. That's what they're there for, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, who gives a shit? So Jefferson, he's the shit. Not gonna talk shit about anything. Look at the numbers. I want you to look at his first year, his targets as receivers. He got 88 receptions, 125 targets, 1,400 yards. I'll talk about that later. I just want you to look at that. And we got CeeDee Lamb. He hasn't signed his contract yet, but supposedly Sport Track has him going for about 34 mil a year, which is a mil under Justin Jefferson's number. Now, look, what was that first year? We'll get to that here in a second. But if you look at CeeDee Lamb, this guy gets a huge amount of targets.
Oh, yeah.
Huge amount of targets. If you look at him, I want you to look at his average. His career average is 13 yards.
13
which
yards.
Which isn't shabby. That's
nothing to scoff at, but
no. But it's not top dollar. And we'll see that. Okay, we're going Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk, Sport Track's got him at 26.5 million, right? Third receiver on the team, fourth option for getting the ball as far as the whole offensive scheme goes.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want to note, his first 2 years with the Niners, he was in quote unquote the doghouse. I don't know nobody knows what it was. Maybe it was the routes. People speculate that sounds maybe true, but at the same time, we're talking about Brandon Ayuk, who fucking runs great fucking routes. So I don't know what it was. After those first 2 years, he's been nothing but a fucking G. He's got, how do you get 1,000 yards on 78 receptions? You do it with 13 yards. Now that's
75.
Yeah.
DK had 66 and got 1,100. But yeah.
Oh, hey, look, DK's a different beast.
Yeah.
DK
he was only averaging 16.9 yards per reception.
With his size and his speed, throwing the ball down the seam should be easy for him to get those big chunk yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So then, this is what I wanted to bring up. We got everybody years. I brought comparable years together. About 1,400 years. Amon St. Rod didn't have anything with 1,400, so I got his 15 or 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you look at CeeDee Lamb's, who's supposedly getting the 34 a year. Yeah. He's got 107 receptions to give him those 1,359 yards. Brandon Ayuk needs 75%. We're just 68 receptions for what was 1,100 for DK, right?
66. Had a shitload
66.
of targets, though. I don't even want to talk about that. He had over 100 targets.
Oh, wow. So there was a lot of like other shit going on.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, I don't see how you want to spend money on CD. The only thing I can say about CD, let me go back, is if you look at his rush,
he makes some explosive plays. I will give CD Lamb that.
but at the cost of what? You have to throw the ball to him so many times before he can hit an explosive play. And even then, it doesn't. If he's got an explosive play, it's great. Why doesn't it show up in his average?
181 targets is fucking insane.
Yeah. And what's his average? 13. It's crazy, but I do give him some cred because his carries. Look at his carries. Out of everybody, he has the best carry amount. He gets double. He's got double the amount of carries and almost double the amount of yards, and it's close to double the average on the ground. So he's good in the rush game, but I don't think. Why am I spinning? I don't think that warrants an extra. I don't know. Was it 34? So 8 million more a year than Brandon Ayuk? It doesn't make sense to me. Amon-Ra, look at all these targets. Justin Jefferson, he's the only one closest to his stats that year. Now, I will tell you that Justin Jefferson is the only one that really, was Amon St. Roz.
Amon-Ra St. Bro.
Yeah. All his average receiving's down there. So yeah, it's only him and Brandon Ayuk and Justin Jefferson that has a good, has an amazing average.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't see how that is, I think it's almost an injustice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And then let's go to where are we at? There we are. The next one. We talk about the situation. So this is what I guess Matt Mayoko has heard. And this is what Matt Mayoko is saying about what he's kind of heard, and he's like the official like leaker of the 49ers news. I wouldn't say contentions, but it's been difficult negotiations with Brandon Ayuk. It's interesting, though, that the 49ers used a first-round pick on a wide receiver. He's played well in the spring. That's only strengthening the 49ers stance. The fines are beginning to pile up. There's no indication the 49ers will forgive Brandon Ayuk for absence like they did for Nick Bosa.
Well, they probably, if they come to a long-term agreement, they'll forgive it. I mean,
I didn't think it was correct, but it seems like the 49ers are trying to act like you can go bye-bye in behind closed doors. You know, like we're not good. They're playing hardball right now.
Well, let them and see what happens, because I think he's pretty damn good.
Well, I don't think they think they have the leverage, and he doesn't. Them not signing him before everybody else locked in, it just is about ready to just cornhole the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they need to just figure it out and get it done quick before it gets any worse.
Well, if I was Ayuk, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, you paid Juwan Jennings $15 million, or sorry, $7. You overpaid for Juwan Jennings, and you're not willing to pay me what I'm worth.
Oh, there's the graphics I was showing earlier. Look, like I made these. They're pretty. Let's go into it. Tell me what your Seahawks are doing.
Okay, like I said earlier, let's just start fresh. Okay, so offensive coordinator going to be Ryan Grubb this year. Obviously came over from the Huskies. 4 miles away, made a big move there from Husky Stadium to Lumen Field. I'd say it was a step up, but yeah, they don't do shit. Yeah, here's the thing is start with the offensive scheme. I said this kind of earlier. There's going to be a lot of pre-snap motion. And for those of you that watched the Huskies last year, it's not going to be like as much as you saw Roma Dunze moving around, Jalen Polk. It's not going to be like Jeremy Bernard coming from the slot and taking a handoff from Dylan Johnson. But it will be a lot of moving DK around, I think, and a lot of moving Jackson Smith and Jigba around. And I think they, for the first time in probably 10 years, the Seahawks are going to try to primarily get the ball into their best players' hands, which is what the Huskies did last year with Roma Dunze. And say your best option is Kenneth Walker, right? They're not going to hesitate to run. Say your best option is DK. They're going to find a way to get him the ball. I think we're going to play to our strengths rather than play a game that the personnel is not built for, if that makes sense. Like, we'd be down to our sixth string running back and our offensive line sucked a while ago, in especially like 2018. And we just preach pound the football, pound the football, pound the football. But that's not what the team was built to do. The team was built to be carried on Russell Wilson's back. Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch much of the Huskies last year?
No, not at all.
Yeah, they were, I have it right here. They were 12th in total offense, second in passing in the whole country, right? So that's out of 134 teams.
So why'd you tell me Walker was gonna and Charbonnet was gonna be getting the ball now?
Oh, because sorry, I forgot I didn't mention this. So, like I said, they're second in passing, right? In the whole college football. So against USC had a pretty good pass defense and a shit run defense. So what we do? Ran for 300 yards on him, right? He's not afraid to take advantage of weaknesses. He's not going to say, oh, I'm going to attack your strengths like some offensive coordinators will. He's going, oh, I got faith in my guys. No, we're going to attack your weaknesses. If your weakness is, if your weakness and our strength is running the football, we're going to run the football. If your weakness and our strength is passing, we're going to take advantage of, what you're uncomfortable with.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Sorry.
I do know that can't remember what the stats was, but the 49ers were like they were high on the most pass yards or whatever, but small on the most pass attempts.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I didn't know if it was something like that, but
no, they pass the ball a lot. Actually, so I looked at the stats. It wasn't as drastic as you would think. They had a 1,000-yard rusher in Dylan Johnson last year, and it was about 59 to 41% passing, which is about average in the NFL.
Okay.
And then let's get to Mike McDonald, his defensive scheme. It's going to be a 3-4 base. People are calling him the defensive Kyle Shanahan with how he moves his players around and disguises coverage, and it basically just smothers you, right? This is going to be a defense that's
smothers you how?
It's going to get pressure. It's going to get pressure, and with the right defensive backs, they can cover, right? And I like our defensive backs. Woolen had a rough year last year, let's be honest. You saw him get benched against you guys because he wouldn't tackle. I think a lot of that can be changed with coaching. I think they didn't emphasize being physical like they should have. Yeah, I think that's about it. The defensive scheme is just, it's not going to be like old school Seahawks are going to run cover 3 or cover 1, and you're going to have to beat us, right? It's going to make the quarterbacks think, make the offensive linemen think. So
that's not good. When people have to think, they get slow.
Yeah. So see, like like Swole Cole, my boy, is saying Coach Mike's scheme is what I'm most excited for. His pre-snap is out of this world, and like, which I would compare to Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay, right? The pre-snap is what confuses the shit out of people, right? They were saying the 49ers, they can run the same play in 5 different formations. You know,
Yeah.
That's kind of going to be how the Seahawks are. They're going to want to attack you the same way in 5 different looks, in 5 different defensive looks. So,
and that's
I'm
what
excited for it.
Going forward. I think one thing I think we're going to see go bye in these next, I'd say the next 10 years is I don't think there's going to be a strong safety and a
free safety.
A free safety.
There might. It depends. It depends on if somebody can master it. The last one, honestly, I'm not just saying this because I'm a homer, but the last pair that I can remember being awesome with one designated free safety and one designated strong safety was Earl and Cam. Because ever since then, it's really been like, dual safeties kind of each mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps. I think it helps the defense hold their cards closer to their body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the reason why it's going to go by the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else?
Not really. I mean, we'll get more into it as the offseason goes on. That was the one I totally forgot. We had that as a show topic today. So that was all kind of just based off the old
Look
brain.
at you. I need to come up with a transition for this next topic.
Yeah.
Trivia or die. Wait, hold on. Trivia. Nope.
No, I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't really like that.
Trivia or die?
Yeah, I think it needs to. We need to have a graphic because that was cringe.
Trivia.
Okay. You want to ask me a question first, or you want to go?
Well, to ask you a question, I have sneakily hidden my questions. So if you want me to go first, I'm gonna have to go unpack it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Just do one.
I even signed the back to make sure nobody got into this. Mm-hmm. Even though there's a window on the front where you can see through it.
Do one, I'll do one, and then you'll do one.
I'll do what I want.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Chat, don't be afraid to play along too. I'm not gonna have you up here yet, but
for everybody listening, Seahawks first owner Lloyd W. Nordstrom died 8 months before the Seahawks' first game of a heart attack. What month and day was that in 1976?
Jesus Christ. So,
yeah, bitch.
That's what I mean. So you guys, just letting you know, this is going to be like not easy. This is going to be like super dumb trivia questions that like even the most ball knower would not know. So he died 1 month before the season opener.
Sure. I told you. Go
1 month and 3 days or what?
I read it. 8 months. 8 months.
Oh, 8 months. Fuck. So it would be.
I don't know if it was on the same day. I just know the day it happened. Good luck.
January 7th, 1976.
Holy shit. You were close. But wrong.
What?
January 20th.
All right. So it wasn't.
13 days off.
Yeah. I'll get a P for pass there.
No, bullshit. That was an F for fail.
Mine was actually easier than yours. Like, way fucking easier. But I
Going
don't
for
think you're going to
throats
get
here.
it. Who was the 49ers rushing leader in the year 1984?
O.J. Simpson?
No.
Okay.
Wendell Tyler.
Okay. I don't know. I never heard that name before in my life.
Okay, go ahead. Next.
The Seahawks moniker is originally from a Miami pro football team. What year were they established?
1972.
Wrong!
What was it?
1946, same year as the 49ers.
Okay.
Oh, in your face.
All right. The 49ers' first ever touchdown in the NFL. Okay.
Oh,
In the
fuck.
NFL.
Fuck. So when was the merger? What, 1960? 59? What was it?
It wasn't part of the merger.
Okay, keep going. I'm not going to get this.
I'll give you the date. I want to know who scored the first official NFL touchdown for the 49ers. It was September 17th, 1950.
You need me to pull a name out of a hat?
Yep, go ahead.
1950. God, do I even know anybody who fucking played?
You know one, but it's not the guy.
Was it Tittle? Y.A. Tittle? What was his name?
No, it was Paul Salata. Caught a touchdown pass thrown by Frankie Albert.
I know him. I don't know any of the motherfuckers. I ain't heard of them
that you would
before.
have known is Joe Perry, I think. He scored
No. The only Perry I know in football is the fridge. Just saying. Haven't you seen me? You see my figure.
All right. Next, go to the Spotlight series.
Spotlight series. Here we go. Bang, bang. Who's going first? You going to drop your team or mine? I got a long one. Well, I'm guessing longer than yours. You want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
So, boom. No, this isn't the one I want. It's this one. Bang. Here we go. 49 positional prowess Spotlight series. This is going to change as we go. So right now we're going through the position groups. It's the off season. When the real season hits, we'll probably be doing individual players. So want to let everybody know this isn't necessarily off season additions. Some of these guys came to the team at the end of last season. I just kind of want to let everybody know who they are. Brandon Parker, he was signed in March, 1 year, $1.15 million contract. He's a 7-year vet, drafted in round 3, 65th overall in 2018 by the Raiders. He signed a $4 million, $4-year, $4 million contract out of college with the Raiders. Then this is really weird. He got essentially a 1-year extension worth $3.5 million, got 2.6 guarantee, and then sat out the whole year. Just sat the fuck out. And then the next year he signed for 1.25 million. Or I don't know, this was weird. It said that he signed 2 contracts in 2003 on Sport Track, and one was worth 1.25 and one was worth 1.1. No idea what's going on. He had a season-ending injury that year on August 15th in camp. This sounds like he didn't want to play for the Raiders and he took them for money. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on. He's an offensive tackle, whatever. Ben Barch, this guy, I got feelings we might see this guy. Ben Barch, he was over in the over with the Jags. He got drafted by them. He signed with us in November. He was poached off the Jags practice squad. He's a 5-year vet at this point. He signed a 1-year, $1.125 million $1.125 million contract. He was drafted in the 4th round, 116th overall in 2000 by the Jags. So he will be going into his 5th year. So what happened was the Jags traded for Ezra Cleveland, and he was moved onto the practice squad, and he didn't pass waivers, and we snatched him up. He started for the left. Wait, he started essentially left guard and right guard for the Jags. Yep. He had a knee injury in 2022 where it was dislocated and the ligament damage, and he would miss the rest of the season. I think that's kind of why his production kind of went down and why he was available. It's because he's, like you have an Achilles injury. It's going to take a second for you to come back. I think he had some issues that weren't able to be fixed by surgery, and they just needed to happen naturally, because it's better if it happens naturally for the most part, depending on the ligaments. And I think he was in that window where he wasn't producing as well, like Richard Sherman, right? Seahawks got rid of him, this and that, played for the 49ers. He wasn't as good. And then that second year when he got with the Niners, he was almost himself again. He was nasty. Yeah, almost. That's why I put it in there. Yeah. Well, he got exposed. But yeah, so I think that's kind of that thing where it's taken a second. He's a guy who can do work, and we'll see later with his scores. He's better than with on his PFF ranking. He's better than both our guards. We got Sebastian Gutierrez. He's an undrafted free agent to the Broncos in 2022. Went on to the Patriots, Raiders, Chiefs, practice squads, all them. This guy he's just a journeyman. It's really nothing much. I could tell you more. He's guess where he's from?
Seattle, Washington.
No. Where does everybody go for their choir concert, the big state championship choir concerts?
No fucking clue.
Pasco, Washington.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He signed a 1 year, $915,000 deal. He signed with us back in December 28th. Like I said, some of these guys are from last season. But it was in a time where nobody was covering this shit because there was so much else going on. So I just thought it'd be great to go into him. Chris Hubbard. Okay, Chris Hubbard here. Chris Hubbard signed with the 49ers in May. He got a 1 year, $1.38 million with $467,000 guaranteed at signing. He's an 11-year vet. Okay.
You guys kind of broke the bank with that one.
Well, for what's going on here.
I'm just being a dick.
No, I'm just saying for what's going on here. It was the only reason why I wrote it down, because it's kind of interesting, because why pay anybody guaranteed money, right? And I think it was they think they can get upside. I think he's a swing tackle. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. I got to go to the injury report stuff. But it seems like he's just been off and on injured this whole time. 2020 knee torn ligament. Ligaments in his kneecap from his kneecap dislocation. Okay. 2021 season ending tricep injury. 2022 he had an September 2020 he had an undisclosed injury. I don't think it took very long. And then in November 20th of last season he had a injury. So to me, this guy is a band-aid. He's got the skills. He just can't stay healthy.
This guy seems like he needs a fucking band-aid.
Yeah, he's just is what he is.
He needs a band-aid. He's not just a band-aid.
Now,
like he's had a few.
Another guy who I need to mention who's not on this graphic list or on any other one is Isaac Alarcon. Now, he is an offensive tackle, just to let everybody know. the way I got the graphics set, it just would have been a real big pain in the ass to add him. So
I had one like that too.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. Which Joe, I got a way around that for now on, but we'll talk later.
Yeah.
So Isaac, we used to have a guy named Alfredo Gutierrez, and he was an international player through the portal, and he was from Mexico.
No relation to Sebastian Gutierrez. For people.
Yeah, no relation as far. I don't know. They could. I don't know. Actually,
don't get off that.
I don't know because they kind of look the same. But Alfredo was bigger. Alfredo was a big motherfucker, and Isaac looks. I don't know what the guy's name is, but he almost looks like one of the movie stars. I don't know if you ever seen imagine a Mexican Drago. You know what I mean? Like from Rocky. Yeah, this is him. He's handsome. Bro, he's handsome. Like MC Steal Your Girl. Watch the fuck out. I'm just saying. Anyway, but he signed. He's
Happy Pride Month, everybody. Sorry.
No, I go ahead. I think that's hilarious. It's not true, but it's hilarious.
All right, go ahead.
You were buying me beers.
Yeah,
you were buying me, and I didn't put out, right? Okay. All right. Let's keep that 100.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Isaac, he was signed from the Cowboys. I don't know. You might be able to go back in some of that Hard Knocks and find him, but he's a big guy from Monterrey, Mexico. He's 6'6", 320, and it's not like he's fat. He's built. The 320 is built. It's not like 320 Ryan size, 6'4". You know what I'm saying? They also, real quick note, they wouldn't let him play football till 14 because he was so big, which I don't know how that computes. Because when he's 14, he's probably being able to be even more tough on the kids than when he was younger. But anyway, whatever. They wouldn't let him do it. Maybe they made him play with bigger kids.
It was probably a Pee-wee league.
They probably made him play with the bigger kids.
Yeah, it was probably a Pee-wee league.
He's in middle school playing with the high schoolers.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Boom. Next, let's get into draft picks. Derek Pooney, 3rd round pick, played tackle in college. He's some guard. 2002 season, he played all guard. I can't remember what side. I think it was left. But he'll get beat outside. He has a good motor. When I saw him in the interview, what I seen was a guy who was sweating, like he worked hella hard, and a guy who was still firing on all cylinders. He was when he'd answer one question, he knew who was the second person to ask the question. You know, like there'll be 2 questions that asked at the same time. They'll pick one, and he knows who both one said. And what I noticed is that kind of reflects what I saw in his game tape. Is when he's going through the line, he knows who's a threat and who's not. And when you're talking about an offensive lineman in this scheme, that's going to be fucking nasty. When he knows that guy's too far out of the play, this guy can actually interrupt the play. Fuck that guy. I'm going for this guy. This guy could be great. PFF. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I don't have a graphic. PFF scored him as a could play eventually. I think he will in this system. He might play this year, maybe even start. I believe he'll play this year. He might even start, though.
Over Brailsford or Burford. Sorry. No.
We're going to get into some things, and both guards might be gone.
Good. They were fighting with each other on Twitter after the Super Bowl.
No, that's not both guards. Feliciano's like a he can play anything. But anyway, it was the shitty guard that probably would get gone. Feliciano was covering for Burford. Okay. Feliciano, we'll get into that. He's the 5th highest ranked guard in the league of PFF.
All right, let's roll. Let's fucking
Yeah,
roll.
stop getting me off topic. Jarrett Kingston, second guy up. This guy, I like this guy. 6th round pick, played left tackle, left guard, right tackle. He's built to be a guard.
Didn't play center in college, or did?
No, he didn't, as far as I can tell.
Probably.
He's athletic, though. He's athletic. He got 32 reps on the bench, 7.53 cone drill, 1.73 10-yard split. He does need to bulk up a little bit. He's a little small, I guess. But I guess he has problems with big one techs, which is not good when you're going to be a guard. He might need a couple years. I don't think if you don't have the physical traits right now, you're not going to be able to spend any time as a starter or on the field in this system. You are just essentially a gladiator in training. Drake Nugent. Hold on. Drake Nugent
in high school was voted most likely to be a used car salesman.
Bro, he's a UDFA. He's the center for the national champions. They beat I don't know if you know this team, the Huskies. Sorry, I really wasn't gonna throw that in there, but I have to for the audience. They would be mad if I didn't. I really don't care. I'm not trying to rub that in your face, but I do have to be an ambassador for my people. So he's got experience, but he needs strengths. He's only got 25 reps on the bench. You know what I'm saying? There's things going on. He's going to have to be put through the system. I feel he can get things done. He's also kind of slow. But also he's the son of a buddy of our offensive line coach, Chris Forrester. So he might be a little bit of an Epo. Higher.
Is his dad Ted?
Ted, no. No, it's another coach.
Not
a rock
City
star.
Dad, man.
No. I love it though. I wish we had some of his music queued up right now so we could hit that real quick. Wait, hold on. We got the.
No, don't, please. Please don't. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna look up cat scratch fever and start.
Nope. He did have a 1.83 10-yard split and a 7.33 3-cone, which is better than Jarrett Kingston's. The 3-cone is, which is one thing. The 3-cone, if any 49ers fan watching out there, the 3-cone is something Chris Forrester said that is an outlying stat that he looks at.
Okay.
Future.
Well, you can tell Chris Forrester that DK Metcalf had a slower 3-cone drill than Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's a wide receiver. That's a wide receiver who gets paid to go straight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Last guy on this graphic, we got Bryson Mays. He's a UDFA out of Southern Miss, 1.81 or 1.8 10-yard split, 7.41 3-cone, 22 reps on the bench. This guy, well, his pitcher's cool. I like the confidence he got in his pitcher.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
So it looks like Ted Nugent there from Michigan. It looks like he's like, hey, I'm trying to sell you a car.
I tried to find good pictures of him.
Check out these rates, and then Bryson Mays looks like, motherfucker, you're gonna buy this car, or else I'm gonna fucking kill you. So go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Next. We're gonna go to the starters here. Hold on. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go with this one.
Okay.
Boom. Got Trent Williams right here, taking up 12.36% of the cap. He's best in the league. They say he's second over here as far as penalties, fourth in snaps played in the postseason. He had 9 penalties, tied for 11th. Hey, this is issues.
He did get away with punching a guy in the face.
Yeah, but That was like
Okay,
after the
and you
game.
go ahead.
That was like after the game. Who cares?
I'm just here being a dick. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Chirping.
Offensive snap plays. Look, he's got time off. But if you look at his PFF grades, he's amazing. We couldn't do half the stuff we do without him, even though he's taking up so much of the cap space. Without somebody on the line like him with the personnel that we have on the line, we'd be toast.
He's worth it.
Yeah, totally. I got some stats here. This is gonna be crazy about all this. Aaron Banks, left guard. Let's see. Where do I have the stats?
That was such a smooth transition. I didn't even notice you changed players.
He takes up 1.4% of the cap. He's really fallen off. There, I got a graphic later on that'll show you that Ben Barch is better than him. And I think that's one of the reasons why you've heard Ben Barch so much. It's because everybody's trying to get him going. And I think he's going to be the new left guard. I think Pooney is the right guard. And Aaron Banks, if we cut him right now, we get an extra 3.1 mil for cap. And that could be something you could turn around and put towards Ben Barch if he plays his ass off this year. You know what I mean? Type of contract. So there's some things that could be done here. I'll show you the grades on him later. You're not going to, granted, I don't think the grades on him are the most accurate because I think he's better than our other guard, Burford, but they gave him no justice. He had 6 penalties. He had 2 in the offseason. We don't need any. Go to Jake Brendel.
Like this
is
guy
our
right here.
Sender. 1.84% of the cap. 4 years, $16.5 million. He's really not that good.
Looks like it.
But I think it's who we're going to have going forward unless somebody can step up, because I think they're the only one. He's the only one that they trust. So we're kind of in this mess with him. His production isn't that great. His pass blocking is horrible. And so is the next guy, Spencer Burford, taking up 0.45% of the cap. Obviously, that's a rookie contract deal, but he's definitely worth every penny. I don't want to sell him short, fellas.
Looks like he's great at pass blocking.
He is not. This is not what we need, is people who can't handle their business up the middle, because it's the shortest route to the quarterback. Anybody who is watching probably knows that. And it's the reason why I think the 49ers, they have never been able to find guards that they appreciate correctly, because I don't think they're drafting the right people. I think they're drafting for what they want, not what they need or what they can stand. And I think he is the embodiment of it. They thought he was going to be great. He was a He was a Spencer Burford 4th round pick. They picked, he was the 4th round pick. They thought they had a guy in Nick Zakelj, who we'll talk about later, who was better than him, and we haven't seen a freaking thing out of that guy. So who knows? We got Colton McKivitz here, right tackle. 1.14% of the cap. You got a call. This guy's got a call. You're not going to answer that? How rude. I'm joking. But yeah, McKivitz, people give him a lot of shit. I don't think he's as bad as people really complain about. I think the guards and the center are more of an issue, because even though Colton McKivitz isn't the best in the league, he's manageable when you put somebody next to him, which is what we draft tight ends and such like that to make sure that this is a thing anyway. So I feel that for the most part, his lack of talent is forgivable because that's exactly why they have him instead of somebody like a Trent Williams in his position. So I understand. You know what I mean? He's there to run block to his side. That's his bread and butter, and he's there to hold up for at least 2 seconds. Because after that, then they get another 0.3 seconds to get to the quarterback, and that's just long enough that it's the quarterback's issue that he didn't get the ball out. Let's get to John Feliciano. 0.89% of the cap. This guy is the 5th best guard ranked by PFF in the league last year. At 0.89, he's going to retire after this. He will be probably a starting guard this season. He wasn't last year, like at the beginning. I think 49ers kind of bullshitting themselves thinking that Spencer Burford was going to be able to handle the business, and he just couldn't. So they have to keep throwing John Feliciano in there, and he fucking did great. You know why? He's not necessarily a great guard, but he's smart and he's a vet. He's smart enough and he's veteran enough to be able to handle the fucking business like they ask. It's not too complicated for him. He understands it. He's already kind of had probably feelings and understands it, like, why aren't we fucking doing this anyways type of shit. Now he's like, oh, somebody fucking gets the position. You know what I mean? So I think he came here and he was like a duck to water. You know what I mean? Like it was, oh shit. Why did I spend all my time everywhere else in this league the whole time when I could have been here acting like a god? You know what I mean? Acting like a god. So I have a feeling we're going to see him. We might even see Ben Barch. Let's go to the last graphic. Okay, this is showing the breakdown of the PFF grades of the players. If you look, where is Ben Barch? Ben Barch got a 61. Spencer Burford is a 50. Aaron Banks, I don't think he's at a 52, but he's definitely not at a 61. Trent Williams is a 92. It says he's second. So, let's see, where's Ben Barch? Ben Barch isn't ranked. I thought he would have been.
No, he is 61.2.
No, ranked as far as out of the guards.
He didn't. Yeah, he only took 240 snaps.
Yeah. Oh, I should have taken off the fucking thing. But yeah, this is where I think we're going. Jalen Moore. Oh shit. Talk about that fucking bastard. Jalen Moore, they got him at a 72. The only time he ever plays is in preseason, and it looks like shit. And who the fuck is ranking this shit, giving that son of a bitch a goddamn 72? It makes no sense. He's 7 points away from being ranked at John Feliciano, who is 5th in his position. That's bullshit. Makes no sense. Fuck that. That's dumb.
All right. Are you ready?
Oh, real quick. Just wanted to say 18.15% of the cap is spent on the offensive line. And that's including Feliciano. I included Feliciano and everybody graphic there that I showed you in that last PowerPoint. That was everybody I put in there. That makes 18.15%. If you take Trent Williams out, grand total, 5.79%.
Yeah, that's about where the Hawks are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready for the Seahawks?
Oh, please.
Okay. Here's the additions and departures of your Seattle Seahawks. Lou Scott Huff last because he's what I have most on. We'll actually go right to left. So first off, we did lose Damian Lewis to Carolina. He definitely got way more money than he was worth. Not saying he was a terrible guard, but they paid him an absurd amount of money to protect Bryce Young. And he was one of the top free agents at guard. Also, we got Laken Tomlinson. 49ers fans may know him. He played for the 49ers from 2017 through 2021. He was a first-round draft pick in 2015 for the Detroit Lions. So he will be competing at guard with Anthony Bradford. Let's see. Anthony Bradford, Tremaine Ancrum, who's another free agent acquisition, and Christian Haynes, our third-round rookie, which we'll talk about next slide. Nick Harris lost Evan Brown this offseason. I think I couldn't tell you where he went. He might have retired, but we needed someone to compete at center with Oluo, and he's looking like he's competing for that spot. Most importantly, Scott Huff is who I wanted to talk about. So he came over from Washington with Ryan Grubb. So as we talked a little bit before when it came to Ryan Grubb, the Huskies were 12th in total offense last year, second in passing. That had a lot to do with the Huskies being 5th in sacks allowed, 11 sacks in 14 games they gave up. Which is pretty damn good. And he did the why I'm so excited about this. Obviously, he's a hometown guy, but he did this with not everybody on the line was 5-star recruits. He did it with 2 4-star recruits and 3 3-star recruits. So I think that is pretty impressive. They won the Joe Moore Offensive Line Award for most outstanding offensive line in college football last season, which is a huge thing. It's not an individual award. It's given to the whole unit. Also, he is the only guy that when Kalen DeBoer took over the team and his coaching staff that they kept from the Jimmy Lake, Chris Peterson era. So that is kind of a big thing. He was literally the only one that they kept from the previous regime of coaching staff. So that's saying something. Yeah, that's what I really want to talk. Oh, yeah, 2022, the Huskies only gave up 7 sacks in 13 games. I mean, the offensive line were studs. Has a lot to do with his technique, and that's what everybody just preaches about this guy is he expects you to play whistle to whistle football, and he expects perfect technique from you, which is what the Seahawks have been lacking, quite frankly, the past probably 15 years when it comes to offensive linemen. So here's our draft picks this year. Once again, we'll start right to left because I have the most information on the left. We'll do Michael Jarrell. Not really a whole lot of information about this guy. He's a Division II football player that played tackle. What I have heard about him is he is a 3-time first-team All-American offensive lineman for Division II football. Ex-basketball player. He's athletic in pass blocking, but he needs a run blocking technique, which is obviously sounds like every basketball player tackle to ever transition to football. Also in the 6th round, we got Sataoa Lamea, if I'm pronouncing that right. He was a tackle at Utah. He's going to play guard here, from what I believe. He's first team All Pac-12 in 2022, second team All Pac-12 in 2023. So he's the opposite. So he's a great run blocker, needs some work on his pass block technique, which I'm assuming that's why he got moved from tackle to guard. And most importantly, 3rd round pick from UConn, Christian Haynes. A lot about this guy. So he's a 2-time All-American, 22 and 23. He has an 85.6 overall grade in Pro Football Focus. College Pro Football Focus. He wasn't going against NFL defensive linemen. But he's 24 years old, 6'3", 317 pounds. Team captain last year. Needs to gain a little bit of weight. So they actually have a Christian Haynes Award already at the University of Connecticut, which stands for most excellent student athlete on the team. So I guess he was great with his grades. He was actually a graduate assistant student advisor last year. And I was listening on KJR a couple weeks ago, them talking about, they had UConn's coach come out and he goes, he's your guy. I mean, when it comes to just overall being respectful, being a team guy, I guess his grade on PFF was kind of down last year because he was dealing with a hamstring issue and he refused to come out of the game, which is the kind of guy I want to see on my offensive line. I don't want to.
No.
Yeah.
Trent Williams the Great said, what was it? What year was it? It was the year that the Rams won the Super Bowl.
2021.
He said, I played and I probably shouldn't have, because somebody else who might be less talented than me would have been able to give a better effort than I.
Yeah.
So I think and I'm not saying you're wrong, and I love that in a player, but I think you just given a caveat, you need to know when to bow out.
No, I get that. Yeah, I guess he refused to come out of the game last year, which is cool. You know, I'd rather have that than being like, oh, my ankle's sore, I can't play.
Right.
Like I was saying, I don't know if you heard me, but the biggest thing that stands out to me is they already have a Christian Haynes Award at the University of Connecticut.
Yeah. Did you not see me look? I was like, wait, what? That's fucking, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so that's tight. Let's go to the next slide. So here's our spending on our offensive line. A lot of rookie contracts, a lot of veteran minimum deals. Charles Cross, first-round pick from 2022. He's making $5.8 million. His PFF grade was 67.6 overall last year, 70 pass block, 58 against the run block. It seemed like him and both Abe Lucas here on the right. Well, Abe Lucas definitely was hurt all last year. Lingering knee issue. His production dropped tremendously. He only played, where did I have it? I had the snaps down here somewhere. I don't see it, but he had a where is it? Okay. He had a 53 overall rating this year from Pro Football Focus, coming off of his tremendous year. Rookie season was 68.5. But that was his knee lingering all last season, and they're scared that it's going to be a kind of career-changing injury. So that's kind of sad to hear. Got swing tackle George Fant back. He was originally a Seahawk, undrafted free agent, basketball player. Typical swing tackle.
Isn't this guy always injured?
Which one?
Fant.
George
Which
Fant?
Which one's the one that's always the one that's injured and everybody's like hoping he'll play this year, but everybody's like holding their breath? He's a tackle. I read an article. It was in the Discord.
Oh, this year?
I posted it. Jesus.
Yeah, Abe Lucas. It would be Abe Lucas.
It would be Abe. Okay. That makes sense after you're saying that. I thought it was Fant, though. But how old is Fant?
Pretty old. Pretty damn old.
Pretty old.
Well, he was a rookie with the Seahawks in, I think, 2017. If that tells you anything. I mean, he's not as old as Jason Peters was last year, but I think the signing of George Fant for $3.4 million really showed that they are concerned about Abe Lucas coming back next year. We talked a little bit about Nick Harris, former Washington Husky, but he's going to be competing with the bottom right in Oluwatimi for the center position, who was a Michigan center rookie last year. Anthony Bradford's probably going to start at right guard next season. And then I think left guard, it's a big competition between Laken Tomlinson, for one. There was another guy. I forgot his name. Oh, yeah, Tremaine Ankrum, who's right there. I think they're going to slide him in and play guard. And Christian Haynes. But I'm assuming it's going to be Christian Haynes, Anthony Bradford, Oluwatomi, Charles Cross, and then hopefully Abe Lucas, if not George Fant. That's going to be the depth chart. Yeah, how do you feel?
I forgot to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Sorry. I'll do mine after yours.
Drop a 4 in the comments if you feel confident, a 5 if you feel neutral, and a 6 if you're like, holy shit, I do not know what the fuck we're going to do. Same for the 49ers, but it'll be 1, 2, 3. So 1 if you feel confident, 2 if you feel neutral, 3 if you're shitting your pants. So, yeah, I think that... What else you got for me? Is that about everything for today's show?
I've got more, but we'd have to go rehash the other contents. We can let people go back to their dinners and enjoy the rest of their Sunday and get coping with the fact that they've got to head out to work tomorrow morning.
Yep. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the comments, everybody that's just watching, everybody that liked, everybody subscribed. Thank you so much. We appreciate you letting us spend our Sunday with you. And have a good one.
Yeah. Peace out.